Welcome back to the Action Zone. You're watching Undisputed Wrestling Desk, where WWE comes alive. Subscribe and get ready for the latest updates. In the world of professional wrestling, where spectacle, emotion, and storytelling collide every night, nothing could have prepared fans for the shocking storyline twist that unfolded. A moment crafted to shake the audience to its core. The sudden fall of Seth Rollins, the architect, the Monday Night Messiah, sent shockwaves across the WWE Universe, not because of a real-life tragedy, but because the story was designed to expose the emotional stakes behind the characters we've watched for years. His final match in this storyline was portrayed as a dramatic reminder of the physical and emotional toll of the business, and the aftermath was written to reflect the consequences of ignoring warning signs within the narrative world of WWE programming. In this fictional arc, Seth's concerns about the unsafe layout of the match were woven intentionally into the script, planting seeds of tension even before the first bell rang. The moment that changed everything. According to the unfolding storyline, Seth's character was placed in a high-risk scenario built around a dramatic miscommunication during a match. The spot was intentionally written to go wrong, not as a real injury, but as a scripted storytelling device representing a deeper issue within the show's universe. The ring had taken damage from earlier matches, technicians were distracted, and the pacing of the entire show was intentionally portrayed as chaotic, setting the stage for a moment that would drive the narrative forward. In this arc, Seth had voiced concern during a backstage meeting, again, story-driven, and those concerns were ignored for the sake of drama. It was storytelling designed to highlight the internal conflict between ambition, production pressure, authority chauffeur, and wrestler well-being in the fictional world of WWE, the fictional fall of a fictional hero. Inside the ring, the atmosphere was electric as Seth went for a high-risk move. One the audience had seen him perform 1,000 times, but this time, the scripted moment was designed to fail. The impact stunned both the crowd and the commentators, creating confusion and emotional intensity. Seth's character lay motionless on the mat for far longer than expected, and the arena's energy suddenly shifted from excitement to disbelief. Ringside staff rushed in, the commentary team lowered their voices, and an eerie silence washed over the arena. This was WWE storytelling at its highest emotional level, blending realism with drama to create a moment that fans would talk about for years. Becky Lynch's heartbreaking reaction. Backstage, in this storyline, Becky Lynch's character was shown watching the match intently, celebrating their fictional anniversary earlier in the night before tragedy struck. The cameras captured her reaction as she sprinted through the curtains, pushing past officials in a moment that felt painfully real. She knelt beside Seth, clutching his hand, her face a mix of fear, disbelief, and fierce protectiveness. The entire segment was crafted to frame Becky, not just as the man, but as a woman fighting to hold on to the most important person in her life. In the world of WWE storytelling, it was one of the most emotional character moments Becky had ever delivered, when joy turned into a nightmare. The storyline grew even more painful when Becky was supposed to appear in a celebratory segment later that night. Instead, the script sent her to a backstage medical room, showing her silently pacing as doctors examined Seth's condition. The contrast between celebration and crisis painted a powerful picture of how quickly life, fictionally or otherwise, can change. The segment focused on Becky's emotional strength, her resilience, and her love for Seth, deepening her character's arc in ways fans had never seen before. The wrestling family unites. In the days that followed within the storyline world, tributes began pouring in from every corner of professional wrestling. Roman Reigns appeared on screen, delivering a raw, emotional message, speaking about Seth's importance to their brotherhood and their journey as the Shield. Dean Ambrose's surprise return in this fictional arc brought the fans to tears as the remaining Shield brothers embraced in a moment that symbolized unity, loyalty, and brotherhood beyond the ring. Legends, rising stars, and independent wrestlers all shared their fictional memories, speaking about Seth's mentorship, kindness, and impact on their careers. It was written to show a wrestling world united by respect. Triple H responds with change. In the storyline, Triple H stepped forward to announce sweeping changes to WWE's safety-themed protocols within the fictional universe, symbolizing responsibility, reflection, and evolution. This part of the arc was not about blaming, but about acknowledging the importance of learning from mistakes within the narrative. It served to highlight WWE's ability to evolve and adapt, using Seth's character arc as fuel for a new era of responsibility in their fictional storytelling world. The system put under the microscope. As the storyline expanded, fictional interviews and backstage segments explored whether the wrestling world had become so focused on spectacle that it lost sight of performer well-being. Wrestlers reflected on times they felt pressure, times they performed hurt, and moments they wished they had spoken up. These scripted revelations painted a picture of a system that needed refinement, not condemnation, but change. In the fictional universe of WWE, Seth's fall represented a wake-up call for the entire roster and audience. Becky's new mission. In her first emotional appearance after the storyline tragedy, Becky Lynch delivered a heartfelt message that broke and inspired millions watching at home. She thanked fans for their support, expressed how much Seth meant to her storytelling journey, and announced that she was dedicating her future to honoring his legacy. The speech was powerful, grounded, and deeply human, highlighting Becky's emotional depth as a performer. Behind the scenes in the storyline world, she struggled, but she pushed forward with a renewed purpose, to turn her grief into positive change. The foundation of hope. To reinforce this arc's message of safety, unity, and improvement, Becky introduced a fictional, Seth Rollins Foundation for Talent Safety, meant to support younger wrestlers, provide resources, and encourage transparency regarding concerns. This symbolic gesture added weight to the narrative, showing fans that Seth's legacy was not defined by his final match, but by the change he inspired. The wrestling community and the fans across the world responded with heartfelt tributes. Fan art, messages, candles, videos, and stories about how Seth's journey inspired them. Wrestling communities organized virtual events, charity streams, and tribute shows, all celebrating a performer whose passion shaped an entire generation of fans. Emotions ran high, and fans bonded over their shared love and respect for Seth's storytelling legacy. The future moves forward. As the storyline reached its final chapters, WWE shifted focus toward the future, toward rebuilding, healing, and reflecting. They teased how Seth's influence would shape new stars, how his absence would impact storylines, and how the locker room would carry his teachings forward. The entire arc became not just a heartbreaking moment, but a narrative reset designed to elevate the importance of safety, unity, and performer support. A legacy that will never fade. Seth Rollins, as portrayed in this fictional tragedy, was more than a wrestler. He was a symbol of passion, creativity, and resilience. His character's final arc reminded fans of what truly matters: unity, care, and respect. And the legacy he left behind in the storyline world ensures that future generations will benefit from the lessons learned.